this is just such a beautiful film. It is
Thank you.
heartbreaking and beautiful, and it moved me in so many ways.
Mm.
I'm really curious for you. How did you relate to the story and to Rachel?
Reading the script for the first time really moved me as well. The story as a whole, the themes that Joachim is exploring in this movie. I love that the film is almost, it feels so true to life. And I think so many can relate to, we all have families, but then also being an artist myself, being an actor, just the themes that he explores in that world is, particularly something that I could relate to. And I was also really interested in how Rachel is kind of this catalyst in amongst the family drama, and she's the person who's able to mend them in a way. Kind of the person you would least expect. This family's so incapable of communicating, but she is able to be the outsider's perspective and then walk away from something that she wants very badly, which is such a brave thing to do and such a kind thing to do. And I think that a character like Rachel could have been um, easily written off as the Hollywood starlet or the cliche. And Joachim, he was not interested in that, and I wasn't interested in playing that either. So it was a real challenge in navigating the layers and that tightrope of, where she falls and where she ends up at the end of the film. Yeah.
One of my favorite moments is the whole beach scene. I,
Oh,
I think it's so fascinating, not just your chance to play against Mr. Skarsgård, but also just the whole scene is so beautiful. What was that like to work on, especially with him?
it was incredible. We were filming during sunset pretty much every day. So we would have a certain amount of time to be able to capture that light for it to look like sunrise, and then we'd have long like night shoots, and it was very cold, I will say. Me and Stellan, where he gave me a lot of coats to bundle up, and that was the first scene that uh I filmed as Rachel, which I think was really important because that's the first moment that Gustav and Rachel get to bond and meet each other. And when you do watch the film, it almost feels like a movie within a movie, that little section. It's such a dreamlike, almost like Fellini quality that Joachim was able to capture. And yeah, it was important that we started there, I think, for Stellan and I's relationship. And it's almost heartbreaking. I don't you learn so much about Rachel in that moment because we that's when she's kind of her most she's lost and a bit longing for a bigger purpose in her career or for someone to be able to see her for her talent. And then at the end of that sequence, there's this hope, or there's such a freeing feeling when she rides off and leaves her agents and the phones behind, and it's like she's found this newfound, like a new spark in her that Gustav awakens. It's quite romantic too, that they're kind of courting each other, which happens with directors and actors. You're feeling each other out because then you have to work together and get to know each other on a personal level. So
The moment you get on the chariot, as it were, is just I just love everything about it. And then the them chasing after you after that is just phenomenal.
yeah, we filmed at the Deauville Film Festival while it was happening, while the festival was happening.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did you like what was Stellan like to work with in terms of just finding this chemistry and that unique relationship?
We hit it off pretty quickly. We did get to have a rehearsal time. So we had a week that I went to Oslo, and that's when I met Stellan for the first time. And we got to rehearse together and, share stories and joke around. And he's quite silly. He's very funny. And a real like fatherly figure, after each scene, each day, he'd give me a big hug and was just so supportive and encouraging. And you can't help but feel so present when you're looking into his eyes. He's such a reactive actor. He likes the spontaneity of not knowing what's going to happen next. And I too, I feel that way. I don't like to plan things out too much or overanalyze. So with each scene, we just got to play together and see where it goes. And Joachim is amazing at letting the actors live in silences. And so when you are staring into his eyes, there's so much soul and so much is being said without having to say the lines.
Well, incredible performances, incredible movie. Thank you for the time. I
Thank you.
cannot wait to see you as Effie Trinket, and Predator Badlands is one of my favorite films of the year too.
Oh,
So
thank you. Thank you.
pleasure chatting.